Good evening. Yeah, good evening. I'm losing my days. I am actually losing my days. Fighting off a bug, but fighting off the attacks that come with a spiritual awakening. Also, I'm just putting my grounding mat on because I can feel this energy since the blue moon, very, very heavy, clearing out a lot, you know. I feel like it's one big page, and I'm used to paging, and I'm used to cleansing, clearing and detoxing, used to all of that. 8 years on my twin flame journey, yes. I understand the paging, the cleansing, the clearing, the recalibration, the integration, all of that, the alchemizing, everything that comes with this path, spiritual awakening, not just twin flame. Can't speak for others. All I do is speak about things I've experienced and in hope it'll help somebody. But wow, this energy is another level, and it takes a lot to knock me down because of the path I'm walking. I learned how to alchemize the energies, you know, turn that darkness into light. That's what I became. I found that I was an alchemist, but it's taking me some sheer warrior determination to get through this paging, cleansing, whatever is going on with us. Because I'm feeling the collective also. It's not just I feel my own, I'm clearing out my own because of the empath that I am, and my mission, why I'm here, my purpose, and the ancient soul that I am. Feel the collective, and it's heavy. It's heavy stuff. You know how I transmute and I alchemize the heavy energy to light energy, is I create. So I come on land and I create and I talk about my story in hopes that it'll help others out there. And I know it's going to help many because I know there's others going through exactly what I've gone through these 8 years. So I could see that coming, you know, for others. So what I was experiencing 8 years ago when I just woke up to my spiritual awakening, my twin flame awakening, I could see I was going ahead so that I could help guide others when that time came for them to face all what I faced and, you know, go down their spiritual awakening path. So yeah, one way that I transform this energy, the alchemist that I've become, and I understand energy, you know, that's all we are, is energy. So once you understand energy, you're the alchemist. You know how to weave. You can see the energy also weaving in your life. I create, and from that creative force, then I start seeing it turn. You know, I start seeing that darkness turn to light, and it always turns around. You know, yeah, everything's energy. Once you understand that, you've got that key to the universe to see. And this journey has taught me that I held that key all along. Didn't have to ask the universe to hand me this key. I am the key. They're saying, you are the keys. You hold all that knowledge, that sacred knowledge, the wisdom of alchemy inside of you. So if you're feeling these energies, which I am, because of how much I feel, I take that on board, you know, of what others are feeling, so that empathic in me. So I'm going to get some angel cards because I just feel the angels coming in. And you know, the angels' vibration, that's about light. That's all light. That's the highest vibration, light, you know. Yeah, cards are upside down. Yeah, you're feeling upside down again. You know, this spiritual awakening path of ours can have us all feeling upside down, topsy-turvy, not knowing, yeah, on cards, not knowing which way's up, you know, which way's left, right, yeah, can have us feeling all of that. But, you know, I can sorting these cards out, I'm rearranging them, putting them into order, by alchemising that dark into light and understanding how we alchemise, so understanding energy and transmuting all of that. We can feel the right way again, you know, and become, yeah, become balanced, the saying, could become balanced and feel our vitality return. Because I don't know about you, but since this blue moon, the rare blue moon, and you're not kidding, it's very rare, it's knocked me off my feet. They're saying I needed to be knocked off my feet. Yeah, they've been telling me to rest because they're preparing me for something that's coming. You know, these 8 years has been preparation. And this energy that we all hold in our own hands, the energy of the universe, we all have this inside us, every one of us. But we don't understand that, you know, because when you're not balanced in areas of your life inside, when your heart's not balanced, when you've not found your heart, you don't understand that you hold this in your hands. You hold the key. You are the key. And you understand that when you are feeling depleted, and you know the cosmic alignments that we're all going through with the portals and the blue moons and the eclipses, and been many, hasn't there, since don't know, since, would you say before the pandemic? Just before the pandemic is when I felt my shift coming. About a year before that pandemic, I went into my awakening. It's preparing me for what was to come. And I always remember saying to my partner, did you feel that shift? And he was like, what are you on about? And we were sat in the hot tub at that time. I was like, I can feel a shift coming. Can't you feel it? And he was like, no, but I could feel it. I was meant to feel it. I was meant to find the key, you know, to my energy healing, to understand my energy, to understand my energy body, to understand that understanding energy then leads to my vitality, then it leads to my balance. I was meant to find the key. I was meant to become the key for others also, to find their key, to open their doors, you know, to this vitality, so that when they are feeling lacking in energy and unbalanced, and they're going to fall off this tightrope of life, this matrix that we're all under the illusion of, I'm that key. I'm handing you that key to your door to find your energy and find your vitality and find your balance. You know, it seems so easy just to, yeah, I can do that, you know. It's not an easy path, no. With all this cosmic alignment going on, it's not easy. It's a path of the Rainbow Bridge. And the Rainbow Bridge you may hear me speak of is the 7 chakras. So those energy centres that we work through, from the root to the crown. We work through these 7 chakras. We've got many, many more, but these are the main ones to open us up to our connection to spirit, and also to our energy, to understand that we're this all along. We've had this energy in our hands all along. Healing hands, you may have heard that saying. Yeah, every one of us holds this energy in their hands. We've all got healing hands. And when you start to work up your rainbow bridge, work through your rainbow bridge, release those blocks, that stagnant energy. You start to understand that, you know, and more energy returns to you, more vitality returns to you. You can go on longer runs. You can start jogging instead of, you know, barely getting yourself out of bed some mornings, which is where I was 20 years ago in my chronic illness. Now I can get on my yoga mat. I can do an hour on that. I don't push myself these days because I know with all this energy, cosmic reset, spiritual awakening going on, I know that I also have to be very, very kind to myself, and I have to have a balance. Years ago, I didn't have this balance. No. I used to walk a really thin tightrope, and I'd constantly be on my yoga mat 3 hours, you know, and then cycling an hour. Yeah, I think I was scared. Well, I know I was scared of never getting better, never having that full vitality before my chronic illness. And it took me a long, long time, and balancing out my chakras and removing all that stagnant energy. And stagnant energy also mean doubts, ego, you know, what the matrix keeps us under. You know, the harder you push, the more you'll get back. Not so, no. I realise that I can have a balance now, you know, and I can still have this health. I don't have to exhaust myself, you know. That's the matrix. It says we have to exhaust ourselves to actually achieve something. No, we don't. Yes, we have to put the work in. Yes, we do. But you can put the work in without, you know, falling off this tightrope and running up the hill. You know, I've got that song, running up the hill, running up the hill, Stranger Things. Yeah, we don't have to feel like we're constantly running up this hill. You know, we can just go for a leisurely walk, and we'll still find that balance. We'll still be in complete balance in all areas of our life. Yeah, I'm running up the hill. No. We don't have to feel like we're running away from things all the time. Something's chasing us as well. Okay.
Keep going up there.
Yeah. So, you know, they just want us to slow down, take a breath, enjoy life, look around us, what's surrounding us, take life in. We don't want to be constantly running up the hill and missing life around us. The beauty of this earth, we want to take it in. And that's about finding balance, you know. And you understand that when you've worked through this rainbow bridge. You understand it's about balance. It's not about how hard you can push and how much you can achieve. And they're not saying don't strive for your dreams. Of course, go for your dreams. Anyone can achieve the dreams, you know. Put the work in, yeah. But there's ways of doing it, you know. The matrix will have you believe that you have to keep running up this hill and feeling like you're being constantly chased. No. You can achieve all you want to achieve by a balance, you know, and understanding how energy works. Now, I'd like to think that I know how energy works. I've transmuted a lot of energy in my field. I've balanced my chakras out. Yeah. Still things to learn there, you know, because that's another thing. You're balanced enough to know that this journey is constant. But you get more balanced in knowing that, you know, you don't have to keep on that treadmill of life, running up that hill, scared, in fear. No, when you start working through your rainbow bridge, you understand that fear is an illusion also of the matrix. You understand all that. Yeah, you know, see things clearly, in colour, like those chakras. When you start balancing those chakras out, you start working through them, removing all the distortion and the removing that illusion of this matrix we are all in. Start seeing things in colour. Yeah, you start seeing your blessings also. That feather, you have more connection to spirit. You know, the spirit inside you. You have more connection to the divine. You find the divine when you start working with your energy bodies. Understand that, you know, working on all levels is it's the emotional, it's the mental, it's the physical, it's the spiritual, and it's all energy. You start to thrive and you become more vibrant, your well-being. Any more angels? Any more? No, not from here to see it. Nope, there you go. Bottom of the pack, last card. This key. To this door, to the universe, to the magic that waits for us there, to the portal of our heart, saying, I am the key, because I've walked this journey of my rainbow bridge. I know that I had the key all along. I know that. I am now the key for others to open this door, walk through. And I can see a rainbow beyond this door. So you just open this door, I can see that rainbow. And I can see many, many, many walking over that rainbow. And that comes from working on your energy body, you know, and understanding that we all hold this in our hands. Every one of us. Not one of us is more different than the other. We all hold this beautiful energy, healing energy in our hands. That's it from the angels. So, any more? Yeah, lot of positivism. Sometimes I just do this, you know. I just think, well, I don't just do it because everything's guided what I do. But just randomly, they want me to pick cards, different decks, instead of a specific reading, you know, that comes out. Yeah, been channeling that long now, and it's getting stronger and stronger. My psychic gift since the blue rare moon is another level. The visions, my clairs that are online is again another level. Getting me ready, preparing me. That's what all this journey's been about. Working through my rainbow bridge, working on my energy centres, my energy wheel. Turning those cogs, you know. Finding balance, finding my vitality. Seeing things in colour instead of black and white, you know. And seeing the blessings in this path also. Yeah, because at first I was like, whoa, there's no blessings in this path. All it is pain and pain on pain and confusion and all of that. No, there's many blessings in this path. Blessings in disguise, this card says. Yeah, this path has been a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't be where I am now. And I'm ready for the next transition. But at this point, they've got me resting. And they had me in 6 months resting point. I think it was last Christmas? Yeah, 6 months. I think it was last year. They had me in resting, because in that rest, you know, that's where you can truly heal and find more of yourself and understand that this journey, it's not been a journey to hurt you, it's not been a journey to punish you, you're not being punished for anything. Sin is the illusion as well. They called us sinners for what? Well, power, control. It's all been about that, you know. And keeping us under that illusion that, you know, we're all sinners and all that. If we do something that we shouldn't. No, that's the illusion. It's power control. Always has been. So, yeah, this journey, I won't change a day of it now. I'm glad I found my energy inside my hands. I'm glad I didn't fall off that tightrope and I managed to balance myself out. I'm so glad that, yeah, this card here, this journey, I let go of limiting thoughts that are holding me back. I am so glad I've let go of the limiting thoughts that has been holding me back. And that came with, yes, my twin flame awakening. That was a catalyst. That was a mirror that shattered everything. The illusion, everything. The life I'd been living, it shattered it into 1,000 pieces. It's meant to. That mirror had to shatter, can't speak today, shatter to be fixed back together again, you know, whole. To become clearer, you know, because my mirror was murky. Yeah. Had murky marks on it. It needed to shatter, to be rebuilt. And that's this journey. You know, and it starts with working through your energy centres, because then that starts to surface, starts to remove, you know, like limiting thoughts that are holding us back. Yeah, when you start to work up your rainbow bridge, your 7 chakras, from the root to your crown. So your root's the stability. You know, you've got your sacral, you've got your solar, you've got your heart, you've got your throat, you've got your third eye, you've got your crown. So it's the full spectrum of the rainbow bridge that you're working through. And I've done that. And I'm more balanced for doing that in all areas of my life. And by doing that, I've let go of limiting thoughts that have been holding me back. So ego was one of those I had to heal. And I had to understand that, you know, you don't get rid of the ego. No, the ego can exist with you. It's just about balancing. And then that allows you to release and know that these thoughts, you know, they're not real, you know. They've been holding you back all along. You've been holding yourself back all along. So when you start to balance things out, you start to see the illusion in everything. And you start, hang on a minute, you start seeing things from a bird's eye point of view. Yeah, you're at a higher viewpoint, and you can understand now the illusion of all you've been under and putting yourself under also, you know, from that programming, that societal programming. And then you start seeing things clearer. You're like, I know what's been going on. Yeah, and then you just let go of limiting thoughts that are holding you back. Like this lady on here. She's like, I see now what has actually been going on. What they've had us under. Yeah. So I'll read a little bit out of that. Yeah, you start to master your mind. Yeah, you become the master. Many, many years down the line. It's not an overnight thing, you know. First thing is removing the blocks, the stagnant energy that surrounds our energy centres that's been holding us back, that's been keeping those limiting thoughts going in a loop, you know. And then years down the line, like this man is holding that energy in his hands. He knows he's the master of his own his life, you know, and he knows that it's all been an illusion, and he knows he can create anything that he desires. That again, an illusion, control, keeping us under that control. They didn't want us to find this energy, our healing hands. They never did. Because when we find this energy, we then become the master. And when you're the master, you don't need to follow, you don't need to look to others, you don't need guidance. You're like, I understand now. You're the master of your own life, you know, your destiny. You can create whatever you want. And that's quite threatening to some, because the powers that be, that control, that's had that control and held us back, yeah, never wanted us to find it, but we found it now, and we're speaking of finding it to help others find theirs. So this card here, I'll read a little bit. I won't read it all because we're getting into 27 minutes. I let go of limiting thoughts that are holding me back. Yeah, when we dive deeply into our thoughts, conscious and subconscious, we discover which empower us and which hold us back. We can sense this empowerment or empowerment by consciously observing and being with the thought and seeing how these illusions cause us to suffer. Yeah. Yeah, when you start working on your 7 energy centres, and those wheels start to turn and start moving all the debris, the saying and the distortion and the blocks that's been holding you back, then you do let go of these limiting thoughts, because it's all connected. So you start working on your energy body and your vitality and your emotions. Your emotions, you start moving these emotions, what you've been suppressing, start working through them and healing. And then that goes into your mental clarity. And then with your mental clarity, you start to remove these limiting thoughts. So what could be negative, you alchemize. It's positive. It's connected. Everything is connected. You know, so it's an inside out job. You have to go inside to become fully what's the word? It's inside out job. Yeah. And you reclaim your power back, you know, because those negative thought loops, that chattering monkey mind, it's all false, you know, it's an illusion to try and keep us from our empowerment. Yeah, it starts to fall away. But it's got to start somewhere. And it started with me on my yoga mat, working through my 7 energy centres, the Rainbow Bridge. And let's have a look. So number 11. Are you seeing 111? Yeah, we've got 11 here. Yeah. You start to receive messages from the universe, you know, numbers and synchronicities. The more you work through these energy centres, the more things you start to see. And you realise, you know, it's been an illusion all along. So I am the master of my mind. If you're experiencing recurring unhelpful thoughts, this card asks you to consciously be still and purify your mind to elevate your frequency. If these thoughts are distracting you from the present moment and disturbing your sense of ease, now is the time to heal the mind. Maybe you have to let your mind master you instead of you mastering your mind. Yeah. So it says, our thought body is one part of the human experience, here to help us verbalise our essence and make logical conclusions. Sometimes we think that ideas and visions come from this place, when these are, in truth, divinely channeled through our hearts. Yeah, I've started to, you know, I'm a channel for spirit. Yeah, my psychic gives a full-on line. But I was not always this, you know. Yes, I was always meant to be this. This was my predestined path. I understand that now because I'm that balanced in all areas of my life to understand that this path I've been walking was leading me to my blessings in disguise all along, you know. And the Rainbow Bridge, that is the path of understanding the matrix. So the false illusion, you know, we're in the illusion of all we've been taught we are, possibly, and that is all we can be. No. That's the beginning, you know. Once you start working on your chakras, then it has that knock-on effect. So your health gets better, you know, your more vitality, your thoughts, more clarity, your channel to spirit. Yeah, what I was speaking about. Your channel to spirit becomes more clearer. So you have that connection with the divine. Did I know that I would be channeling from the divine? No, that's the truth of this. I didn't. But that was my blessings in disguise, the saying. You know, so just from me getting on my yoga mat, half an hour, 3 hours at one point when I returned that vitality back to me. Yeah. But that was a bit too much. I needed to strike that balance. I understand that now. But just by me making that decision and hearing a voice inside me now, I understand, to follow this, you know, and to heal inside and out. Yeah, it's brought me to my blessings in disguise. And this was the path all along, you know. It was bringing me back around to myself. So like this circle. Yeah. It was circled back home to myself. But first I had to walk and heal and remove and heal more and remove more layers of myself and more blocks around my energy wheels. And then my mental clarity, then my connection to spirit. Yeah, brought me right back around to myself. But the true self, the authentic self. Not the self I was when I first set out on this journey. Yeah, became the master of my own mind, the saying. Thank you, angels. I shall leave it there. Yeah. Beautiful message. And I shall speak to you all soon.